Welcome to Hyde Hall. I'm Anne-Marie Barker-Schwartz, Director of Musicians of Malik, and I'm standing in the supremely beautiful dining room here at Hyde Hall, a 50-plus room neoclassical estate built between 1817 and the mid-1830s by George Clark, and is located on the northern shores of Otsego Lake. The home is open for tours, and I strongly encourage you to visit. It's a simply stunning venue. So today's concert will feature music drawn from the Clark archives, musical archives here at the estate, as well as music of the period, opera transcriptions from the 1820s and 1830s. And it was filmed the last week of July in the gorgeous inner courtyard here at Hyde Hall. The program will feature music of Fellini, Rossini, and also Aubert, as well as a delightful gem that was written specifically for Otsego County in the mid-1800s. So we're going to begin today with music of Fellini from his opera Norma, written in 1831, a very popular opera that quickly made its way to America in the mid-1830s. And by the way, today throughout the concert, on each introduction, you'll be able to see a different room of the house, so you'll get sort of a mini tour of this incredible site. So we begin with this transcription of melodies called a Potpourri of melodies from the opera Norma, and it features, among other familiar melodies, the aria Costa Diva. Our performers are Norman Thibodeau, flute, myself, Anne-Marie Barker-Schwartz, violin, and Sten Isaacson, guitar. We just heard a potpourri of melodies from the 1831 opera Norma of Vincenzo Bellini, a wonderful period work that the Clarks would have been familiar with as it premiered in America in the mid-1830s. I moved from the incredible dining room to the lovely drawing room, and you can see in the background the incredible ornate detailing here. Our next work is drawn from the Hyde Hall Musical Archives, which are truly a significant collection of works and a testament to the sophistication of the Clarks in terms of their musical knowledge and also to their ability as players, because you can tell from looking at the parts, which have fingerings and pencil, that they actually performed and played these works. The collection is mainly of works for flute, either solo flute or flute and a second treble instrument, which could be a second flute or violin in our case, and is comprised almost entirely of opera transcriptions by popular composers of the 1820s and 1830s. Most of the transcriptions are by a virtuoso flute player from the 1830s named Eugène Valquier. Our next work is taken from this collection, and it's from an opera by François Esprit Aubert, who was a very popular French composer of the period, pretty much forgotten today, but sort of the rock star of his day. He wrote many, many operas with titles that you might recognize, such as The Masked Ball, among others, and one from which we're playing today called Le Filtre, or The Potion. It is an early version of what Donizetti would set with exactly the same libretto, in which Donizetti called the Elixir of Love. We'll be playing 4 movements from this collection, which actually had about 20 movements. And it gives you a good taste of both the quality of Valquier's transcription and also the level of virtuosity required from the flute player. The Clarks must have had some incredible training to be able to play this. Our flute player is Norma Thibodeau, and I'm the violinist on this performance. We just heard excerpts from Daniel Francois Esprit Aubert's Le Filtre, or The Potion, the same story as Donizetti's Elixir of Love. And that was from a collection transcribed by the 1800s flutist Eugène Valcaire, part of the wonderful and really substantial musical archives here at Hyde Hall. Norma Thibodeau was the flute player, and I was the violinist. I'm Anne-Marie Barker Schwartz. So we've moved from the completely stunning drawing room to the oldest part of the house, and I'm standing in the breakfast room, the family breakfast room here. If you had a wider panorama, you could see that the inner courtyard where we filmed the concert is on my side, but you get an idea of the lovely space that the family enjoyed their early morning repast in. We're going to turn now to music of Dokino Rossini. This is a transcription from the 1830s of his opera Cenerentola. And it's a little bit unusual. It's not just a taking of the melodies and reworking them for instruments. Everything has been turned into waltz time. The waltz was very, very popular beginning in about 1810, and of course going all the way through the Strauss family in the 1850s and later. And this particular transcription takes all the melodies, all the famous iconic melodies from Cenerentola, and puts them in 3/4 time. And once again on this recording, which is going to be for flute, violin, and guitar, you will hear Norman Thibodeau on flute, and myself on violin, and Sten Isaacson on guitar. just heard excerpts from Rossini's Cenerentola, or Cinderella, all changed to be put in 3/4 time for waltzing. The opera dates from 1817 and quickly made its way to America by 1826, being performed at the Park Theater in New York City, which also saw premieres in the same year of Rossini's Otello and The Turk in Italy. A very busy year. And of course, in Cenerentola, the vehicle for identifying Cinderella is not a slipper, because an unshod female foot in the 1820s would not be acceptable to the censors. So in this case, it's a bracelet. I've moved from the lovely family breakfast room to the library, which is also in the old part of the house. And I'm sitting at this lovely period instrument, and behind me on the music rack, you will see a work called the Otsego Polka, which is the final work that we'll perform on today's concert in the inner courtyard. It's dedicated to the ladies of Mrs. Coates Seminary in Springfield, New York, and is a great example of this period music that were dances, whether waltzes or polkas, generally light, fun music transcribed for piano. In order to make it work for our instruments today, our flutist Norm Thibodeau made a transcription for flute, violin, and guitar. And we'll hear Norm on flute, myself on violin, and Sten Isaacson on guitar. We just heard the Otsego Polka, part of the musical archives here at Hyde Hall, originally for piano and written for Miss Coates' Ladies Seminary in Springfield, New York. Norman Thibodeau, our flutist, transcribed it for the group, and you heard Norman Thibodeau playing flute, myself, Anne-Marie Barker-Schwartz on violin, and Sten Isaacson playing guitar. And that concludes our concert for today, filmed in the inner courtyard here at Hyde Hall, the beautiful neoclassical 50-plus room estate of George Clark, built starting in 1817, continuing through the 1830s, and located on the northern shore of Otsego Lake. This house is open to the public, and I strongly encourage you to come visit. It's simply an amazing, beautiful, and beautifully preserved historic site. I'd like to thank Jonathan Maney, Executive Director of Hyde Hall, and John Henry Aborn, who's Director of Publicity and Outreach, for their help and enthusiasm and passion in making this project happen, which includes not only today's streamed concert, but also the recording of a CD over the last week with repertory from the musical archives, and then 2 little short segments about the making of the CD and about the making or the collection of the musical archives here at Hyde Hall. Thank you so much for joining us, and we hope you enjoyed the concert.